So most men don't realize this, but the part of you that makes you a good provider might be the same part that's quietly destroying your relationships. Now, a lot of you were trained to be a provider long before you ever became a man, not because you chose it consciously, but because survival chose it for you in childhood. And if you grew up in poverty, single parent home, if your home felt emotionally unsafe, if the adults around you were overwhelmed by bills or had this insecurity around money, you weren't rewarded for being emotional. You weren't rewarded for being unsure, right? You weren't, no, you were rewarded for being useful, for fixing, for helping, for being responsible, growing up as a man fast, right? And without realizing it, you learned from maybe your mothers, the women in your family. This is how I get value from women, right? This is how I stay safe with women, right? And so a protector identity formed, right? The provider, the fixer, the strong man, right? That can take on responsibility for the women in his life. Now, here's the part most men miss. You're not just acting like a provider, you're signaling that identity energetically. And that signal attracts partners who are looking for safety through what you can provide. So the relationship quietly becomes, can you handle this? Can you take care of that? Can you support me here? Right? And listen, men do need to feel needed and useful. That's real. That's wired into us. A man connects through purpose, through having a place, right? Through meaningful contribution. But the difference, right? There's a huge difference between being chosen for your presence and being chosen only for your usefulness. Because every time someone chooses you only for what you do and not for who you are, it hits the same old wound. I'm only valued for my output, right? And the emotional parts of you, your vulnerability, your needs, your softness, right? These are hidden to you, right? And so you feel used, unseen, lonely, even while you're providing everything. Now, that's the destructive part of the provider mask. Now, here's a more masculine reframe, right? Now, here's how I think men are meant to actually show up, right? In a healthy way. Now, you are meant to bring presence, not just provision. You are meant to bring leadership, not just control. You are meant to bring strength with emotional visibility. You are meant to contribute from choice, not from fear of losing love, right? The work isn't to stop being capable as a man. The work is to stop letting your worth be defined only by what you give. Because when you integrate the emotional parts of yourself, when you stop hiding behind this usefulness, this provider mask, your attraction patterns change, your relationships change, what you tolerate changes. Now you choose consciously, not from survival, not from this childhood conditioning I talked about earlier, but from who you actually are. And now a woman doesn't just need you, she chooses you and you choose her from connection, not this transactional, unconscious negotiation, and not this obligation you may feel to do things for her and feeling like if you don't budge, she's not budging. You feel what I'm saying? And we all have been through relationships like this. And so what I'm calling for you guys is to become self-aware of the different parts of yourself that you suppressed, denied, and disowned in childhood because they were not rewarded, right? Your emotions, they're not weak. I know today, the culture today is you sassy. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that that's where your power is. And the more you can understand, see, feel, and validate yourself, the better you will show up in presence. And someone will be choosing you from that point. You gotta really get into a relationship where a person is really choosing you. They like the soft side of you, right? They like these other parts of you. They can just sit with you because they like these other parts of your personality. And so what I want you guys to do, if this was useful, I want you to look at this. I have many different videos on how to actually process your emotions. And I have many videos about how to actually understand yourself, right? Look at those videos. Also, if you want to do this work personally, I have a coaching program. And just hit the link in the description. All right. Peace, y'all.